Good morning, guys. It is Saturday, May 23rd, and I'm just coming at you to check in. Sorry about my appearance. I have been lazy. Well, I wouldn't consider it lazy. I've just been tired all day, kind of just been in bed. It's only like 9:30, so it's not like it's, 11 and I'm still in bed, but, I just wanted to check in. After yesterday, if you watched my vlog, I did end up eating dinner. I sauteed some onions and 100 grams of lean ground beef, and I ate that with some delicious seasonings. And that was pretty good. Like, I've never really done that before, and I just looked in my fridge and I'm like, what do I have? I saw the onions on the counter, and the beef was defrosted, so I'm like, I'm just going to do that. And it was good. I was down 3.1 this morning. I was 246.9, which is what I was after the first day of fat loading. So, I will be very excited when I get down below 242.7. So, I have a while for that. But, I wasted a lot of time. In the beginning of this round, because this is VLC day 6, but really I've only had 2 days of pop, Thursday and Friday, so hopefully today will be the same. I will be, I'm telling you right now. So I just wanted to kind of talk about something that might be a little bit controversial right now. Because not everybody, but there's been a lot of talk about HCG being a cure for obesity. I just skimmed through the whole Pounds and Inches book, and the cure for obesity, I did not see it in here. That, I believe, comes from a book by Kevin Trudeau. He talks about it being a cure for obesity. And I guess I just want to start off this conversation by saying, I know people that follow HCG to a T and gain their weight back when they start eating normally. My hair is just, I don't know if I like it, you guys. I just got it rehighlighted. It doesn't really, I'm not really loving it. But anyways. Yeah, I know people that follow HCG to a T, past HCG vloggers on YouTube, just, family members of mine. I have one sister who, she follows HCG to a T. She does not cheat when she's on protocol. She does P3, and then she adds in wine for P4 and slowly gains and gains and gains until she has to do another round just to lose 10 to 15 pounds. My own personal experience, I did HCG to a T, and then I, had some miscarriages, so I don't know that because of that, that could have affected me, because I did read in here that, pregnancy annuls previous rounds. So although I wasn't pregnant for very long, I was pregnant a couple times. So that could be my issue. But for my sister, there's nothing that should cause that. She has a couple glasses of wine every night, and she follows the no starches. She really doesn't eat a lot of starches or sugars on a normal basis. So in P4, the only sugar that she has is wine. A couple glasses a day, or, every other day. And she literally gains weight from it. So, I would just like to say that, what Dr. Simeon says about it is it's a new approach to obesity. And, in here, there's this little, excerpt on relapses. And, it says, 60 to 70% of our cases experience little or no difficulty in holding their weight permanently. Relapses may be due to negligence in the basic rule of daily weighing. So for me, I feel like daily weighing is forever a part of your life after HCG. And to me, that doesn't seem like a cure. A cure would be you're done thinking about it. You don't have to worry about it anymore. But I know, like, HCG Chica, she weighs every day now, still. I feel like, you know, and then it goes on to say many patients think that this is unnecessary and they can judge any increase from the fit of their clothes. Some do not carry their scale with them on a journey, as it is cumbersome and takes a big bite out of their luggage allowance when flying. This is a disastrous mistake because after a course of HCG, as much as 10 pounds can be regained without any noticeable change in the fit of clothes. The reason for that is the treatment is newly acquired fat and evenly distributed. Okay. So, I really have trouble with the whole cure word. And I also, just for me specifically, I know that daily weighing has to be a part of my life forever from now on. And I just don't think that I'll ever get to the point where I can't do that because, like this said, 10 pounds, you don't even know. Like, I gained 30 pounds after my last round before I had miscarriages and stuff, and my clothes fit the same, my measurements were the same, and, you know, like, that's just not, I don't know. I just, for me too, like, I have been eating healthy and, you know, low carb and working out and gaining weight, can't lose weight. HCG is literally the only way that I can lose weight, and, so I just have trouble. I just wanted to throw this out here because I hear people talking about, you know, this is going to cure my obesity and I will be able to eat whatever I want and not have to worry about it. And I think that's a little bit too naive, and it's not even in Simeon's book. So I guess I don't know where that's coming from. You know, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or say, like, you know, you're wrong or anything like that. You know, everybody has their own opinions. Everybody's, you know, body is different. But I just really worry about this whole cure thing because I just don't want to see people put all this time and effort into HCG and, you know, do it the right way and then think that they can eat whatever they want and then gain it back little by little, or even just, you know, I don't know. I just don't want to see that happen. I know, you know, Stephanie HCG is back. We kind of came back she just came back, and, you know, she was saying how she did 4 rounds and lost the same amount of weight every time. Like, so she was constantly correcting it, and now she's coming back to correct it again, which I thought about you when I read the pregnancy annuls previous rounds anyways. But, you know, I know you're saying that you didn't follow it, but as I look back at your old vlogs, yes, you cheated sometimes on P2, but for the most part, you were, like, stabilizing in P3. It was P4 that caused you problems, right? So I guess I'm not really seeing where, you know, for me, I just have to think, so my life is going to be different this time. You know, I lost 60 pounds with HCG before, and I gained 70 back, you know. And I have to know that my life is going to change. This is a lifestyle change. And I kind of have started hating that phrase because so many people are using it. But it is. It's definitely just something that, you know, like Sweet Fit Tia is saying, change or be the same. You know, I can't go through this protocol and then expect to be able to live the way I used to live. Like, it's not going to work. And that's not a cure for obesity. You know, losing the weight and then going back to my old habits. Like, even after I set my weight at that point, you know, I still can't eat the same way. And I hate to break it to you ladies or, you know, to anybody thinking that way, and break it to myself, because I've been tempted to jump on that bandwagon and feel that way too. But it's not like that. And, you know, I think another huge thing that people don't understand is Dr. Simeons wrote this, was it like the 60s? I can't remember the exact date that he wrote. Anyways, he wrote it a long time ago. Food has changed so much since he wrote this book. If you just look at the way that wheat even looks, like in the way that it, you know, and corn used to be smaller kernels, and like 70% of the kernel was protein, and 30% of the kernel was carbs. And now it's like, I think it's like 80% carb, 20% protein, maybe even less protein. Our food has changed. They're genetically modifying our food to change. And, you know, whether or not you want to believe that the FDA approves this stuff and doesn't want us to be skinny, I would have to, you know, I would have to disagree, because I'm in the medical community. Obesity, weight gain is the highest, like a highest medical like cost, and it's a problem. And America like is one of the fattest countries. We have major issues with obesity and medical costs, and, you know, things like diabetes and, you know, exercise-induced asthma and different things like that are directly correlated to the way that we eat and our weight. And, you know, I honestly wish I didn't know all this stuff. Like, I wish I didn't know. Sometimes I just think, like, being blissfully ignorant is so much better. Like, ooh, I'm fat, who cares? But I know that our food is different, and it bothers me so much. It's just like I could start crying right now because I'm so mad about it. I cannot believe that our food is changing like this, and that we're standing for it. I just can't believe it, and I can't, you know, it's so. I used to be really, really into politics, and HTG did start me on this whole, like, you know, researching food and researching the way we're eating and different things like that. And I used to be really into politics, and after realizing that the food industry buys politicians out so that they can vote on their, you know, policies the way that they want them to, so that, you know, Monsanto can, you know, control basically all of our farming in the United States except for a few small organic farms. You know, that's just a small aspect of how skewed our country is and how ridiculous politics are. I've literally just, like, I don't even care anymore. Yeah, I'll vote. I'll try to make a difference that way, which it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat. These people are getting money for different things, and I don't even think anybody's, like, true in what they believe anymore. Anyways, I'm going off on a huge soapbox, but I just think that people don't understand that our food is so different in the past 30 to 40 years, in the past 50 years. Our food has changed. What we're feeding our animals. You know, cows are meant to eat grass, and we're stuffing them with corn. That's not even corn. You know, it's this new corn that's not even the way God made corn, you know. And so, you know, I just feel like I want to believe that this is a cure for obesity, but it's not. I don't think of it that way, and I don't think in this day and age it can ever be. There can't be a cure for obesity if people are going to eat normally. You know, that's why I love listening to Debbie, the Choice Factors videos, because she talks about how, for her, sugar is just off the table, processed sugar. And, you know, I think that should be the case for everybody, because it's so addictive. It's not even real food. Yes? I'm making a video. My family won't. This is the second time I've tried to record this video. They won't leave me alone today. It's Saturday. I'm like in the office with the door shut. Like, come on, guys. So yeah, I just think people don't understand that sugar, is not the same. And I went to a nutrition class for, continuing education for my job. I have to go to like different classes and keep learning. He talked about how we need to put the sugar back on the table, as far as stop buying sugared cereals, stop buying sugared things that have added sugar. It's better to add your own sugar, because you're not going to add as much. That was like, oh, light bulb in my head. Like, of course you're not going to add as much. If you look at how much sugar is in cereals, is in basically anything geared towards children, it's crazy ridiculous how much sugar. I'd rather have, you know, my son eat some strawberries with sugar on them than a fruit roll up. Like, you know, there's just, it's beyond crazy how much our food has changed and how much everything is ridiculous. But enough about that. I just wanted to kind of make that point that it's not really a cure, and it doesn't even really say that in pounds and inches, as far as I could find. I read this. I'm a pretty fast reader. I skimmed this whole book this morning. It's a pretty short book. And I thought it was interesting, Sarah, because you talked about Weight Loss Apocalypse this morning, and, you know, I used that book. I read it once. I thought it was a good read. But number one, I do not like the way Robin talks to people on the phone. I don't like her abrasive personality. I don't like that tough love approach, especially when it's all the time. If it's someone that you really, and she's talking like this to random people that she doesn't really know, I might talk to somebody like that I really know and care about and love. Like, yeah, I might give them some tough love, but I'm not going to do that to some random person that's calling me on the phone that I'm trying to help, you know? I don't like her videos. I don't like her personality at all. I'm sorry. I just don't like it. And I read the book. I thought it was a good read. I thought it was a good thing to read. I definitely agree with you, Sarah, on, you know, just the food addiction thing. I would say that we're all probably... I will just say that I live with my husband, who does not have a food addiction. He eats when he's hungry. He eats because he's hungry. When he's upset, he does not eat at all. I mean, that doesn't even cross his mind. Like, there's no emotional, you know, connotation to food with him at all. And I do notice that I am different than him. I do have a slight food addiction, and you know, yeah, I would say that, you know, your points are all valid, that, you know, we shower too much. Are we addicted to showering? Probably. I mean, if you literally can't go with, you know, if someone told you couldn't take a shower for 5 days and you had a real problem with that, I guess I would say that you're addicted to showering. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a very addictive personality to anything else other than food. So I guess I would say that I just reevaluate yourself. Like, I totally wouldn't call myself a food addict. I totally agree with you there. But I would say that I am slightly addicted to food. And like I talked about in the comments, you know, food addiction is so hard, because when you're addicted to smoking, you know, obviously it's better for your health if you don't smoke. You need to get rid of that. You can live without it. Alcohol, the same thing, you know. If you can't control it and drink more than a couple drinks, you know, or whatever, you know, you can literally get rid of that, and it's not going to change your life for the worse. You're not going to have health problems, you're not going to, you know, Sex addiction, the same thing. Obviously, life is better with sex and, enjoyable sex and, but some people have negative connotations to sex because they were raped or whatever. They don't have a healthy relationship with sex. So, they can live without that. Sex is not something that you have to live with. Yeah, you have to, people, in order for future generations, sex is necessary to procreate. But as far as, being addicted to it and needing it, you literally can live without it. And food, you can't live without food. You can't. You would die. You can only live so long without food. And, I guess you would say the same thing. Like, are you addicted to water because you drink so much water? You need water to live. Water is like the essence of life. And food is necessary for our bodies to function. So I think as far as it's a hard area because food is necessary to life. But when you overeat, I would say it is somewhat of an addiction. I would say that you're on the road to becoming a food addict if you're constantly overeating. And I would say 80%, take or minus, of Americans are overeaters and are addicted to food. I do think that there's a difference between emotional eating, eating for pleasure. I don't think there's anything wrong with eating for pleasure. I think if you are, just eating because you enjoy eating something, that's totally different than, eating because you're upset. And, if you're not hungry, but all of a sudden you're upset and you need to eat, I think that's a major warning sign that you are addicted to food. I think it's sad that in America, and I think it's not just America, but other countries too, we place so much around eating and around food that what do you do when you celebrate something? You go get a piece of cake, or, what do you do when, you're just hanging out with your friends? Most of us meet at restaurants and get, half price apps and that kind of stuff. We center so much around food, and I loved that part of Weight Loss Apocalypse because it really opened my mind to, because she talked a lot about that, and just, it opened my mind to the fact that I don't want my child to constantly be thinking about food. I don't want to deny him things. I don't want to reward him with food ever. I really actually get angry when people try to reward my son with candy and stuff. I don't appreciate it. I do limit his sugar intake. I have a candy bowl and he asks for candy. I say you can have one piece because it's just not good for you. We don't want to eat a lot of that. It's more like a treat. But I want him to not be restricted. I want him to be, when he's hungry, he can eat. And I want to have healthy foods for him, healthy options. And I don't want this, for birthday parties, I don't want it to be all about food and cake and all that stuff. We did go to Chuck E. Cheese, and I noticed, these kids, they really didn't care about eating. All they cared about was playing, and, I feel I just wish I was like that. I definitely probably would choose going out to eat over something really active and something really fun. I mean, if you really think about it, when I was on this journey before, on Valentine's Day, I surprised my husband with going to, we went to one of those trampoline places, Sky Zone. It's just a bunch of trampolines, and I'm I thought this would be so much fun. It's, it's not romantic, but it's fun, and, and it was so much fun. We didn't go out to, I think we went to Chipotle, it wasn't we had this big dinner and all this other stuff. We just enjoyed each other's company, and we enjoyed having fun, and, it wasn't, our lifestyles are so sedentary too in America, and now, nowadays, and so surrounded by food. So I have talked a lot today, and I think it's something important, and Sarah, you kind of sparked these ideas in me this morning, which I definitely appreciate your blog, and I loved it, and I hope you don't take this offensively or anything like that, because it's not against you. It's just my personal thoughts as well, and I totally respect what you're saying, and I agree. I agree with everything you say. I just want to give you a little bit of a different perspective on the whole food addiction thing and the whole cure thing, I guess. But I have literally rambled on long enough. I will check in tomorrow and maybe think some more about this and talk some more about this again, because I think it's important. I think it's really important. So everybody have a safe weekend, and I will try to vlog tomorrow. Bye.